Hey there, folks. Adam here, going live. Yeah, there's a pretty intense storm that is moving into Essex County right now that we're tracking very closely. Definitely some rotation on it, some tornado potential with it. So hopefully everybody's staying safe there. Um, Notified the whole region that we're going live, but we're focusing on deep southwestern Ontario right now. Starting to see some reports coming in. Yeah, so there's excuse me. So there's that. That was kind of took us a little bit off guard. I was watching for it last night, and I was watching for it today. Let me just jump over to radar here. Um, I was watching for it. I didn't expect it was going to be this intense, but it certainly kicked up some steam here. So let's take a look at the rotation. It's a little bit stronger on the airport radar, but we are seeing rotation in here, which is in the Amherstburg area. Yeah, so it's not the greatest situation here. Someone said, "Can you pull up the Amherstburg radar?" Said Nick. Yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. So there is rotation in the storm. It was looking super strong as it crossed the river, and with a nice couplet, it may have weakened a bit, which is good news. But we're definitely continuing to watch these storms, and there's quite the environment for this particular area. Which, I mean, there was a significant tornado outbreak in the U.S. yesterday, and obviously it is continuing to that whole system is continuing to push east. It wasn't supposed to hit our area, but yeah, it's definitely tracking a little bit further north than we thought it was going to. And we did mention yesterday there is a slight severe risk for these areas, so we are watching this closely. We did see a little bit of rotation appear near Lakeshore and Tecumseh, but it's not being picked up so much so by some of the other radars, and there's a little bit over Lake St. Clair as well too. I'll flip back to reflectivity so you can see it. So the storms we're watching are these two in deep southwestern Ontario. This one over Lake St. Clair, and that one that is just north of the lake shore there. Yeah. Anyway, so the risk with today is going to be tracking from the Windsor Essex County area along Lake Erie and over towards Niagara. But then later on today, we're actually going to have a risk in eastern Ontario, just a slight marginal severe thunderstorm risk into eastern Ontario. But Jess says we had hail about 10 minutes ago in Windsor. Thank you very much, Jess. I appreciate that. Thank you for your report. How big was it? Was it just small? Just had hail in Amherstburg, says Michelle. Yeah, that's definitely possible with that mesocyclone lifting up all that into the air and then dropping it as ice. So yeah, it definitely looked pretty strong as it was coming into Amherstburg. But it may have weakened just slightly. Piece sizes, Aaron. Thank you very much. There we go. There's an interesting report. Where did it go? Amherst Point winds and clouds moving in all different directions, says Terry Lynn. Thank you very much, Terry. Hope everybody's staying safe. Looks pretty nasty down there. What did I see here? Green in Wallaceburg, says Heaven. Thank you very much for that report. Let's just flip over to Canadian radar here and see what it's picking up. And I believe Wallaceburg just east of. It should be just. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Green in Wallaceburg. That's not great. That's not great. Okay, so it looks like we are seeing some reports of green, quarter size hail in Windsor. Interesting. Okay. All right. So there's that. 1 second here. Just have to go live on the Tickety Talks here. Severe weather risk. There we go. All right. It's good to me. And news, go live. Cool. All right. Going live on the TikTok as well. Okay, there we go. So, yes, greenage, says someone. Yeah. So, kind of concerned about Wallaceburg a little bit. There's a little bit of stuff going on Canadian radar there. The meso has kind of picked up here in Essex County as well, starting to be picked up by Detroit radar. Let me just take a peek. I'm just watching the airport radar as well too, because it is kind of gives us a little bit of a better indication sometimes. It has certainly demonstrated the strongest rotation that we saw by far as it was coming across the river, and and hopefully it has weakened, because it looks like it is a little weaker than it once was. Give me just 1 sec. I'm just tracking stuff here on another device. But yeah, the environment here definitely has some potential. Especially, there's a couple of storms going over Lake St. That big storm going over Lake St. Clair right now. Definitely has my eye. Hail reports in Windsor, hail reports in Essex County, and yeah, it's quite a way to start our morning here, even though there's only 6 minutes left of the morning. Okay. Yeah, I just want to watch this closely. Hail near Harrow, says Anthony Clark. Thank you very much, Anthony, for the report. Appreciate that. Thanks to everybody joining us on all the different platforms. We're live. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, lots of different places. Oh, there goes my radar. That's not great. 1 second here. Let me just refresh that. That's definitely not the greatest. Let's see here. How do we refresh it? There we go. Give me just a moment. Overwhelming my radar system here. There we are. Okay. Perfect. Cool. Now, I think if we switch back, we should be good. Cool. All right. All right. Gotta watch this carefully. Yeah, some broad rotation in Essex County. The focus rotation that we saw coming across the river there from Michigan into Essex County, again, it may have weakened a bit, which is really good news. However, we're continuing. The environment is definitely there. Multiple models talking about slight to enhanced severe thunderstorm risk, which we did not see. We did not see last night. It was not showing that. But then this morning, I just thought, hey, let's just double check the models, and I was like, okay, that's certainly kicking it up a notch. Yeah. Certainly kicking it up a notch. So they may be elevated, which is further off the surface, so that would be good news as well too. A lot of folks asking, is this an April Fool's joke? And no, we don't joke about weather. So whether it's April Fool's or not, it doesn't matter. We do not joke about it. Okay, I'm starting to see some rotation here. Developing rotation heading towards Mitchell's Bay over Lake St. Clair. Let me just confirm that on some other radars, but starting to see some rotation there. Want to watch that very, very closely. Yes, definitely seen it. I'm gonna send out a notification right now for minor rotation in that area. Give me just a moment here. I am gonna remove the tornado potential that we posted for Amherstburg, because I think it is weakening in that particular area. I'm going to leave the minor up though, but I'm going to definitely going to send out a notification to those east of Lake St. Clair. Let me just post about this. Okay, so it looks like it's going that way. Okay, just going to do a little polygon here. Bigger than little. Let's see. Let me just make sure the size of it. Give me just a moment. And I'm going to, it's going to extend all the way to Chatham, Kent, and up towards Dresden. I'm just going to send out a notification for minor rotation there. Give me 1 second here. Minor rotation detected on the storm over Lake St. Clair. Tracking east towards, just make sure the exact areas here. Mitchell's Bay. There's actually a couple of areas here. East towards Mitchell's Bay and Grand Point, etc. And what else? Baldoon, maybe? Let's see here. There's a few areas. I'm sure you'll know you're in the area. I'm going to notify Wallsburg up to Dresden as well, just because there's embedded in that line. But this particular part of the storm is the concern right now, tracking east. And what time is it here? It is 11:58 a.m. And the easiest date to remember ever, Saturday, April 1st, 2023. And I'll send that notification out right now. So if you're in that area and you have our app, if you can get that notification from us. If you do not have our app, download it. It is free. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. I will put up the little banner right here. Instantweatherapp.com. It's free. Download it, and you'll be able to get notified as we go live, and of course as we track these different storms. What's going on here? Hopefully this is nothing. Main risk is hail. Main risk is maybe a little bit of damaging winds and lightning and isolated flooding. We did hear some isolated flooding reports from Sarnia and surrounding communities as well, from this all the rain we saw this morning and overnight. But an isolated tornado cannot entirely be ruled out. Hopefully they're elevated and therefore they're not rooting with the surface, and therefore the chances are mitigated. But when we see rotation moving over our area, we don't mess around. We need to track that closely. So rotation is worth our time. It's worth paying attention to, because we've seen crazier things happen. I mean, yeah, there's a couple different areas of rotation over Lake St. Clair that are tracking east. So if you are east of Lake St. Clair, those particular storms are slightly concerning and worth watching. So there's that. Then again, thanks for joining us on TikTok. Thanks for joining us on Twitch, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter. We are live as many places as we possibly can be to get the word out. That's what we do. So let me just double check here. Yeah, the storm is going to continue fairly organized as it tracks to the east and eventually heads towards the Niagara regions. It's going to head up the shoreline here of Lake Erie, and it's going to track to the east. We might see some thunderstorms as far north as maybe London, but the main focus for severe weather potential is going to be right along Lake Erie as it goes to the east. And then again later in the afternoon and head towards the evening, we will see the potential for some marginal severe weather in eastern Ontario as well too. So we've been noticing that on the models, which I'm going to pay very close attention to. Over Lake St. Clair, definitely seen some isolated pockets of rotation. So there's that. Okay. So let me just jump in the comments, see what everybody's saying. Holly says, sounds like St. Thomas may see something's possible. It's definitely going to be tracking in that direction. And then Terry says, yeah, we have a snowstorm up in Sudbury. Yeah, Sudbury got pounded by snow. These things definitely happen. Dana says I'm cutting in and out a bit. Oh, sorry about that. Hopefully, it's probably when I move the radar around. I'm not sure why it's so problematic in that regard, but we'll work on that. But hopefully it's not too cutty outy. Maybe if I turn my volume up a little bit and change my, let me see actually. I might be able to change my settings here. Maybe a little bit. We'll see. Whereabouts in Eastern Ontario for later, says Lana. Close to Lake Ontario and probably towards the Cornwall areas. But definitely seeing a little bit of potential out there. We are seeing a couple different areas of rotation over Lake St. Clair right now, which is the main focus of what we're paying attention to here. And it's Amherstburg seems to be in the clear, and the stuff in deep Essex County seems to be mainly wind-driven at this point in time. A little bit of wind risk there, but nothing too substantial. Lightning and isolated flooding is possible as well too. Yes, had hail in Amherstburg, says Kelly. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Tina says I'm not cutting out. Okay, thank you. Tina says, was wondering why OSR doesn't cover severe dangerous conditions in Northern Ontario. Tina, we have a page for Northern Ontario. It's called Instant Weather Northern Ontario. So if you have, Facebook or Twitter, Instant Weather Northern Ontario. That's where we cover the northern areas. So it's a long story why the south is not named Southern Ontario. Anyways, it's gone that way, and we've kind of just left it. And so, long story short, if you are in Northern Ontario, we have a page specifically for you. So please check it out. It's Instant Weather Northern Ontario. These are the two areas over Lake St. Clair we are concerned about right now. This not so much, but this area heading towards Mitchell's Bay, right on the southern side of this storm, right here. Seeing some rotation here, quite evident. Yeah, it's not super duper strong, but it's definitely worth paying attention to as it comes onto shore. And yeah, and we want to watch that carefully, definitely carefully. So watching it both, it's showing up both on the Detroit radar and on Cleveland radar right now. Should probably go take a look also at. Sorry, just trying to keep an eye on so many things here. Should probably try to keep an eye also on the Canadian radar as well, see what it's seen. Interesting. Doesn't look super duper strong, but something's going on here. Let's see. Yeah. Those areas are concerned. All of this up here is just noise. If I swipe this over, you can see there's a lot of rain. But the main concern is this cell heading east towards the Chatham-Kent areas right now. And potentially this little guy that's over Lake St. Clair. The stuff in Essex County now has weakened. I'm going to take off that notification now that we posted earlier from the app. Let me just try to find it here. Where did it go? So many different... There we go. Okay, so the minor rotation that was heading towards Amherstburg, I'm going to remove from the app. So if you refresh the app, it should be gone. And I took off the tornado potential because it definitely did weaken. But it got strong just as it was crossing the river, which we've seen it do that before. 2016 is one of those years where it crosses the river, gets really strong, and becomes a big concern. So thankfully, it weakened right after that, which is great news. So Mother Nature's messing with us a little bit here. That's okay. We can deal with it. So minor rotation still posted for Mitchell's Bay, Dover Center, Grand Point, Payne Court, Prairie Siding, and these are all areas east of Lake St. Clair on this particular storm that we are watching closely. Heading east right here. It's just about to come onto shore if it hasn't already. And yeah, so we have kind of a broad area of rotation here, which is, it was more to the south. Let me actually just double check from Cleveland radar. Sorry if I move this radar around a lot and quickly. I do it so much that I crash it sometimes. On Cleveland radar, still seeing it right kind of south of Grand Point. Yeah, so this cell is definitely the one to watch. And this area right here, kind of south of Chatham-Kent, the models were really highlighting this as the area of focus for today. But yeah, we're still seeing, this is the cell to be watching right now near Baldoon, Grand Point, and Mitchell's Bay area, heading east towards Chatham-Kent. That is what we're watching closely right now. Yes, so there's that. Interesting. Looks like, okay. Severe thunderstorm watch in place from Environment Canada. That's good news. Yeah, EC has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for these areas we're tracking east of Lake St. Clair. Let me just double check the exact areas for it. But yeah, severe thunderstorm watch in place from Environment Canada. That's good news. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they did issue a severe thunderstorm warning. Yep, for Essex County. Okay, good. Good. Let's see here. Yeah, that's good news. Let me just double check. This is the storm in particular we're watching closely, but there is an opportunity for deep southwestern Ontario to see some organized storms as well too. They kind of weakened as they moved to the east, but it's possible they could strengthen, and these storms are going to continue to track east all the way towards Niagara. So if you're along the Lake Erie shoreline, St. Thomas, Chatham-Kent, those areas, this is the concern that we are watching right now. It looks like the National Weather Service, just south of the border up towards Niagara, has issued a mesoscale discussion, which means they're probably, if they haven't yet, they're probably going to issue a watch as well. That's typically what they do after they issue a mesoscale discussion. It's kind of a heads up that they're going to be issuing a watch. So yeah, just head dive right into severe weather season. That's how it goes. That's what happens around here. I swear I have milk somewhere. I'm going to find it and I'm going to drink it. It's going to be fantastic. There we go. That's great. That's fantastic. That's good. Our thoughts are with those who were affected last night by the intense tornado outbreak that happened in the U.S. We've heard of fatalities and mass casualties, and we hope everybody's okay. Obviously, everybody's not okay, but you know, our thoughts are with them. So, K10 Productions asked about April 5th. Yeah, we're watching Wednesday. Wednesday looks pretty nasty. We've been watching it for several days now, so Wednesday looks interesting. Southwestern Ontario, severe thunderstorm risk. Again. But this one kind of popped up out of nowhere. I mean, not really out of nowhere. I've been watching it. I was paying attention. I've been watching this closely. We did mention it last night that there is some severe weather potential. My dad's in Grand Point and said they just got a lot of hail, but it's done now. Thank you very much, Emery. Love these real-time reports. That's fantastic. Dad's in Grand Point and they got a lot of hail, but it's done now. Okay, good. So maybe it's just a hail risk. That would be fantastic. Someone asked about London, Ontario. Is it going to be bad? London might see some thunderstorms, but probably non-severe. I think. Teresa says, "What's happening? Why are we live?" Severe thunderstorm risk in deep southwestern Ontario, and we're watching it closely. Yeah, I don't know if London's necessarily going to get this, but it's possible. London could get a thunderstorm. It's questionable if it's going to be severe. This rotation might just be a hail mezzo, which is good, which is sometimes good. I mean, you'd rather have hail than a tornado, of course, right? So, but yeah, still seeing an organized storm near Grand Point. It's tracking to the east, obviously bringing with it some hail. The severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada has been extended up into Wallaceburg and Chatham-Kent. And that's the main storm we're watching. It might have a chance to reach London. It might. It's kind of trying to track to the northeast, so it's possible. But if the storms remain elevated, then it's possible that, we're already saying it's a low risk for a tornado, but if they remain elevated, then that will certainly help mitigate the potential tornado potential. So, but it came in strong. For sure. I was like racing to go live. I'm like, I gotta do this fast. Sorry it took me so long to finally actually go live once we went live. But yeah, I want to make sure I notified all the folks. Now, the reason we notified all the way across the region is because there is some risk in Eastern Ontario later today for marginal severe weather. So we'll be watching that. Closely. Yes, but this is the storm we are watching south of Wallaceburg, east of Lake St. Clair, and there's another one over this one we're trying to pay attention to, and this little guy that just popped up. Interesting. So we're paying close attention today, right now at least, to deep southwestern Ontario. There was a risk for Amherstburg, but that has moved off to the east, and there's no more issues there. Looks like there's just a bunch of rain in Windsor right now, and but this is the storm of focus. This is the storm under a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. And it's still looking pretty organized here. And it is in Grand Point, Baldoon areas, and tracking to the east. Eventually it'll be hitting Darrell, Appledore, Northwood, Botany, Thamesville, potentially Chatham-Kent, but it might just miss to the north. It might just clip Chatham-Kent. We'll see. And then eventually it could head up. It's possible it could head up towards the London area, but this looks like it's on track to head up towards St. Thomas, I would think. Just based on what we're seeing right now. Let me see if I can do some animations on it here. Actually, no, I gotta have to wait. Okay, so yeah, that's the storm we're focusing on right now. I'm just gonna pay attention to it as it tracks to the east. It is the storm that we need to watch closely. Let's see here. Don't think they're funnel clouds. Just saw scud clouds, says Chris. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's odd. Hearing you 3 times over each other. You might want to refresh the stream. That might be the reason. Okay, I'm just going to keep poking around, looking for your reports. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can join us at Ontario Storm Reports. Is a great place to post what you're experiencing, if it's safe to do so, of course. Lots of snow reports today, but it looks like some hail in Windsor. Sudbury looks like a winter wonderland, and yeah, it's quite the contrast between the snow up north. Elliott Lake has like a foot of snow, and then there's severe thunderstorm potential in the deep south. Streets are starting to flood also, says Donovan in Windsor. Yeah, getting lots of great reports there. So thank you so much for all those. We appreciate it. I'm just going to take a peek at Twitter as well too, see what's going on there. Let me just take a peek here. Mark Robinson posting about the rotation as well. It's good. Yeah, and severe thunderstorm watch from the severe thunderstorm watch has been extended all the way to Niagara, which makes sense because the severe risk seems to be going from deep southwestern Ontario all the way to the Niagara region today. So it looks like they have extended that. Environment Canada has extended that all the way to the Niagara region, which is great. Good to see. Just gonna check on the Canadian radar. Oh, hello. Oh my. We're seeing rotation. Oldfield, Tupperville. This is still within the minor rotation that we posted. I'm wondering. Hold on, let me just back this up a little bit. Looks like it's trying to organize here, actually. Let's jump in tilt. So this is the lowest tilt. Let's go up to tilt 2. Nothing too much on tilt 2. It looks definitely superior on tilt 1. And, yeah, but seeing something right there, which is interesting. Not in the most typical spot, but right here we're seeing some, could just be an inflow feature, but it's definitely seeing some minor rotation continuing with that cell as it tracks to the east. I don't know if that's been reflected by US radars or not, but I can double check. Let me just double check here. Not as much on the US radar system. Definitely some broad rotation on these cells that are moving east of Lake St. Clair. So watching closely, folks. That's what we do. We just continue to watch, refresh radar, and pay attention as long as we possibly can. So there's that. Okay, so let's see here. All right, I better flip over my power here. I need more than one USB-C cable to charge these things. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let me just double check. I'm just looking at a few different things. Okay. So yeah, severe thunderstorm warnings are still in place from Environment Canada, and severe thunderstorm watch is in place as well. We are seeing some broad rotation near Tupperville. We'll see if that continues. It's heading towards Dresden. I believe Dresden was in my polygon that I posted about. Let me just double check. Yeah, Dresden is in my polygon where I said minor rotation tracking to the east. So that could just be a hail risk potentially with that cell. But an isolated spin up is not entirely out of the question. Hopefully these are elevated, though. By elevated, I mean further off the surface, and if they are, that would mitigate any spin-up risk. But, yeah. It was a bit crazy here. And Windsor, says Randy on TikTok. Thank you very much, Randy, for the comment. Appreciate it. John says, what is coming to Niagara region? Possibly some hail. There's a damaging wind risk. Excuse me. And lightning, maybe some isolated flooding. And spin up isn't entirely out of the question, but it's definitely on the low end. But we'll see. We will watch this closely and see what we can figure out as these storms track east. These are the two areas, at least from the U.S. radar, that we're watching. Some strong winds in here as well too. If this is a legitimate value, I don't know if you can see the top of my screen way above my head up here. 96.84 kilometers coming in right there. And this is 84.6. 84.6. Yeah, seeing some fairly strong values at the bottom end of the storm, which is just north of Chatham-Kent, heading towards Darrell. Let's see if we can get any other locations. About to head over Prince Albert Road, Darrell Line, Caledonia Road, Gregory Line, McNaughton Line, and Longwoods Road. It's about to head in that direction, and this is just, as you can see, you can see the streets from Chatham-Kent. This is just north of town. So if you're just north of Chatham-Kent, some pretty strong winds are possible there, and it looks like we might have some rotation here, which may be causing this hail, these hail reports as well too. Looks like we did get an update. Let me see, from Canadian radar. First, I'm going to check Cleveland to see if we have an update from there. Yeah, so still broad rotation in here. Nothing too intense, but it is possible that that's what's producing the hail coming off of those particular storms. And here is the update. Interesting. This might just be noise. It's a weird spot. This is why I love this swiping tool that we have. Side note, this is Instant Weather Pro, coming very soon. The dev team is completely focused on it now. We're pushing to get this out this spring, because we've been talking and we've been live streaming with it for 2 years now to test it. So anyways, long story short, it's working great. We really want to get it out, and we're pretty focused. There's a few things with the app we need to tweak. With our instant weather app, we did because of raising costs, we had to put up these pop-up ads. So when you click radar, there's a pop-up ad, you have to wait 5 seconds, skip it, and then we set it so it only happens like once every 2 days, so it's not like overwhelming. Like if you go back into the app a million times, it won't happen. Only once every 2 days. But for some users on Android, they click it, it kicks them back to the home screen, and they have to go back in. If that happens to you, just go to the menu at the top left of the app and click radar there, and that'll just bring you in, and it'll work great. So our apologies for that little glitch, but it's it's necessary. We have to we don't want to go under, so we obviously have to make sure that our costs are less than the revenue. And as long as we balance those two things, then we stay in business, which is great, because we want to continue to track storms for all you wonderful folks, and all your support has been wonderful. All your donations, your subscriptions to the app, all of that kind of stuff has been fantastic. So we really sincerely appreciate it. And thank you again to all those who have downloaded our app, who enjoy it. And again, if you do have that issue, just go to the menu and then go to radar there, and that'll be easier. Just plain Dan says, Instant Weather Pro, shut up and take my money. We're launching it very soon. There's a few things, there's a couple things we want to add, and then it will be launched. So it's coming. I'm using it right now. It's coming. So but this is I love the swiping feature. It's the greatest thing of all time, and it's the greatest thing of all time because when you're split screen, you're like, okay, there's rotation, and then you look over here and you say, oh, there's storm, so you just assume the rotation is here. But when you have the swipe tool, you can see that what we think is rotation is actually over here, which doesn't really perfectly line up with the southern part of the storm. So it's like, it's not. If there was rotation, it'd probably be here and not way up here. So it's possible that it's just noise. Canadian radar can be super duper noisy. Holly says, and thank you for doing this for us. You're very welcome. My pleasure. I've been waiting all winter to live stream severe thunderstorms, so as soon as I saw this risk, I was like, okay, it's time. Pretty heavy wind in Merlin. Power flickering, says Carolyn. Merlin. Let me try to figure out where Merlin is. You can probably tell me before I figure it out, but I'm going to go to the search bar here, and let's see. Merlin? Merlin, Ontario. Let's see if we can find it here. I see. It's Merlin, Chatham-Kent. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let's zoom in. Oh, you're way down there. I don't know why they call you Chatham-Kent. That's interesting. But you're seeing some strong winds down there. Okay. Thank you for that update. Appreciate it. Let me jump to Cleveland. Cleveland is still trying to pick up on some broad rotation here. Darrell, Louisville. This is still broad. And oh, there's also this here too, near Bagnall, Bradley. Yeah, on that particular little cell there. So those two cells are the ones we're watching. Yes, watching closely. Let's jump back to Canadian radar. It's a little bit too far to really pick up on things. I think, whoa. Yeah, those winds have strengthened even more. Remember we saw them? Now they're at 107.64. Yeah, that is really kicking up steam just north of Chatham-Kent. And yeah, I'm going to definitely send a notification for that. Give me 1 second here. That needs a notification for sure. Let me just do that really quickly. Hold on a second. Just a moment. But which way is it going? East? Is it going due east? Mm-hmm. Oh, I have way too many frames highlighted right now. Give it just a moment here. All right, should be fine. Is that going due east? I think so. What have I done? Give me just a moment here. Flip back to my main camera. Hi, everyone. 1 second. Just want to make sure I've got this properly set. There we go. Okay, let's dial this back to 6 is probably a good number. Maybe we can go up to 50, but I think we're kind of overwhelming it right now. Okay. There we go. Okay. Jumping back to radar. Oops. There. Okay, perfect. Okay, so looks like it's going due east. Let me see. I think so. I think it's due east. It's kind of northeast. But the winds themselves are pushing to the south. It's weird when you see that on a storm. Yeah, the winds are pushing due east, but the storm is moving northeast. It's kind of the same as the rotation that was coming over Lake St. Clair there. It was doing the same thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna send that notification for strong winds on that particular storm, really kicking up steam, and it looks like it's gonna be. I'm gonna do a polygon like that, and I think I'll go orange. Give me just 1 second here. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dan DiBiasio again. My buddy Dan, what a good guy. Let's see here. I appreciate that, Dan. I'm going to go for imaging wind potential. Winds are possible in northern Chatham and surrounding communities as this storm tracks to the east. Okay, let's see here. And that is at 12:27 p.m. on Saturday, April 1st, 2023. That looks good to me. Clickety clickety. Clackety clack. I should also put this. There has also been hints of minor rotation on this storm as well. I'm going to put that in there because one of the radars is highlighting it a little bit more so than others. Looks like strong winds. Okay, there. Get that notification in. If you're in those areas, you would have received it. Dan DiBiasio, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you to all those who are sending in stars on Facebook as well, too, and gifts on TikTok. We really appreciate it. Makes a big difference. Your support is definitely helpful. Let's see here. Okay, 1 second here. Oops. Of course. Of course. Overwhelming it. Give me 1 sec. What have I done now? There we go. Okay. Of course. Of course. There we go. Okay. These things happen. So, yeah, still seeing some strong winds here. Let me just see exactly where it's going. Kent Bridge, Northwood. Could see some damaging wind gusts off that storm. There is some broad rotation here as well near Thorncliffe, Don Mills, and Wabash. And seeing some stronger winds as well too down here in kind of east of Essex County, tracking to the east as well too. But by far the storm that's standing out the most is going to be this one here, heading towards Kent Bridge, Thamesville, Thorncliffe, Appledore. That one is certainly standing out compared to the other ones. Let me just zoom in here. And again, there's kind of this broad rotation on it, but it's in a weird spot. And the main issue is going to be what's happening here towards Kent Bridge. So yeah, so that is the focus right now, and we will continue to watch these as they track to the east. So much hail, says Tessa. Tessa, can you let us know when? Oh, Thamesville. Yes, right. Did I say Thamesville again? We've been through this every year. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I still call Thamesville, only because I can read. But obviously, I don't know how to pronounce something that is not, it doesn't sound like it reads. Yeah, that's always my issue. Yeah. Oh, I can. Give me 1 second here. Where did that come from, though? That was weird. Hold on, just 1 sec. Let me make sure. 1 second here. Let me pull that up. I can hear you, but give me just a moment. And I just want to make sure, because that was coming out of one of my monitors, which is strange. Let me just make sure. Okay, focus right. That is so strange. How did that come out of a monitor? That is weird. Okay, 1 second here. 1 second here. Go ahead, Elena.
Now?
Yeah, you're still coming out of a monitor, though. Why are you coming out of a monitor? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, I know why. It's my Discord settings. That's what it would be. I'm like, it's just randomly coming out of one of my monitors. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so output device. Let's make sure it's going to be... Why would it be that? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Okay, so... It's not even an option? This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't... Well, just talk to me through my TV. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody can hear you, though.
Look at the team chat real quick. I didn't want to highlight something.
Oh, okay.
Stream. I want you to read this.
Oh, interesting. Oh, really? In Chatham. Okay. Interesting. So this was a YouTube comment from Travi. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Hopefully they can get us that video. Someone in Chatham are saying that they saw a possible funnel on a video. Friend sent them a video of a possible, they said possible tornado in Chatham, but I would assume that it's probably a funnel. Maybe it was. I don't know. If you have that video, please send it to us. I think it was the name? It was Travi Patty. Travi Patty, if you could send that to us, a link to that would really help. Send it to help@instantweather.ca. If you could send us that link, that would really, really help. Help@instantweather.ca. We'd appreciate that so we can take a peek at it. Again, if you haven't downloaded our free app, please do so. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com and then select Apple or Android and or you can just go to the Google Play Store, search Instant Weather, look for our white and blue icon. But yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Lauren says can't hear her. That's strange. I don't know what's coming through. So weird. Why is it coming through my TV? Anyways, whatever. It's fine. Don says anything for Barry? Nah, we're not getting anything fancy. The rotation over here looks a little more organized near Kent Bridge. There's actually a little bit of a strange little soft hook on that storm. That's interesting. Still strong winds heading towards Thamesville. 104.4 kilometers an hour showing up on radar. Let's hope that's not reaching the surface. But if you're in Thamesville, and seen rotation being picked up by multiple radars here. Let me just make sure. Let's see what it looks like from Canadian radar. And we did have a report of a possible funnel. Lori says, I saw a funnel north side of Chatham, but it broke apart. Thank you very much, Lori. Appreciate that. Looks like a small couplet, says Kyle. Yeah, I'm thinking so. And it kind of lines up with the one that's on Canadian radar, too. And so it's showing up kind of in Detroit. And yeah, I did put minor rotation on the notification I just sent this exact area. Yeah, I did. Kent Bridge is definitely included. We said damaging wind potential, but in that I said there's also been hints of minor rotation on the storm as well. Lauren says the strong winds and rotation would have hit the northern edge of Chatham. Thank you very much. Ms. Esri on Twitch says, highly recommend downloading their app for a specific area. Thank you so much, Ms. Esri. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Thank you to those joining us again on TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. How many of those start with T? That's a lot. I think it's everyone I just mentioned, except for Facebook. YouTube, of course, and yeah. Oh, interesting. There was a gust report of 100 kilometers an hour from a personal weather station in Kingsville earlier. The data quality from those things is somewhat questionable at times, but that's interesting. Are those winds hitting the surface? Well, Kyle, we just saw. So in Kingsville, there was a 100-kilometer gust reported from a personal weather station. So maybe they might be reaching surface. London says, John, it's possible that London will see the storm as it tracks to the east. Right now, it's tracking a little bit more due east. So we'll have to see. I'm just going to continue to toggle between radars, make sure we have the latest data. Watching Cleveland's radar closely because it's actually pretty good down in these areas, and it's still showing some broad rotation heading towards Thamesville. They have broken up a little bit, but those storms in particular are the ones we want to keep an eye on. And yeah, this particular area right here near Thamesville, heading into how do you pronounce this? Moraviantown, Bothwell, Clachan, 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 Kintyre. All these little towns here in deep southwestern Ontario could be in the path of that particular storm. I believe it is still under a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada, and severe thunderstorm watch is still in place all the way east to Niagara. More Avian Town. Thank you very much. Clacken. Someone says Klesmos. I probably pronounced your name wrong. Klesmos? Kelsmos. Kelsmoos. I don't know. Says Clacken. Is it Clacken? What'd I say? Definitely something wrong. A lot of our time on this live stream is spent training me how to say names properly. And then just like you saw with Thamesville, the next year I've immediately erase it all and forget it all and pronounce it Thamesville. So that just happens. It just happens. It's okay. I go by my reading skills and my pronunciation skills based on the letters, and it turns out that that's not appropriate. Anyways, it's okay. I'll deal with it. Let me see here. Okay, so
We've got new severe thunderstorm warnings.
oh, new severe thunderstorm warnings. Is it an updated warning, or do they extend it to the east?
It looks like they've extended it north.
Oh, they extended it north. Yeah, we don't have storm-based warnings yet, so we have to kind of Environment Canada just has to deal with the little blocky areas that they have to choose. I could see that they sent it just slightly to the north, though, so I'm going to go double check on that.
Looks like additional reports of, well, unconfirmed, but that north side of Chatham potential funnel.
More reports of potential funnel north side of Chatham. So there's that. Yeah. If anybody has those reports, please let us know. You can also send them to, if you're on Facebook, you can post it to, Chatham Airport was gusting to 90 kilometers an hour. Wow. Says Cole. Thank you very much, Cole. Appreciate it. Oh, it was a Snapchat vid. The YouTube gentleman said it was a Snapchat vid. Anyway, you can do a screen, you can do a screenshot or a screen recording. If you can get that Snapchat video, do a screen recording of it, and then send that to us if you can. Pretty please. That would be helpful. And this was of a possible funnel cloud north of Chatham, Kent. And again, we've seen pockets of rotation there. Still seeing little pockets of rotation, so it's possible. Are these two storms going to merge? Might have some merging going on here. Looks mergeable. Let's see here. See if our US radar can animate. Probably not. Maybe so. Gonna find out. Yay! Yeah, so continued embedded rotation with this line. Let me just go back to the latest frame. Jump back to Canadian radar. And should be getting an update from Canadian radar soon, I would think. If it's not out already. We're actually processing all of the tilts, so it takes us just a slightly longer sometimes to process it, but we're going to be improving that as well. No, that's all. I'm still seeing just the 35 frame. 36 frame, I mean, so we have to wait for that. Okay. Yes, pretty eventful morning. Thankfully, a lot of folks don't have to travel. I would assume many don't have to travel. Someone says, I saw it too, north side of Chatham, McNaughton, and St. Clair. Yeah, more reports of possible funnel. I wonder if anybody can send a video of that or a photo so we can see. Anybody? Anybody out there? No power outside of Chatham and very strong 80-kilometer wind gusts. Paired with severe thunderstorm watch, says Tara Guy. Thank you, Tara. Appreciate it. Yes, so if you do see that Snapchat video, someone said there was a Snapchat video of the possible funnel report. If you do see that, I scroll through our reporting page and it's like a foot of snow all the way across northeastern Ontario. I didn't, unfortunately. No worries, Carrie. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, someone said there was a. Was it Travi said there was a video on Snapchat. So if you know how to screen record, or if you don't, go just jump on YouTube and say, how do I screen record on my Samsung, whatever phone you have, and it'll walk you through it really quick. But if you can find that video on Snapchat, that would be very helpful. I'd love to see what they caught on video there. If it was a funnel or if it was Scud or whichever. No power in Merlin, says Kristen. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Lisa asking about Petawawa, Pembroke area. Yeah, I think the Eastern Ontario risk later today is going to be more towards Lake Ontario and over towards Cornwall, kind of north of Lake Ontario and over towards Cornwall. Maybe not even as far north as Ottawa. So I think you're probably okay. I'm going to be watching that closely as well too. Hailing in Moravian Town. Someone said it's Moravian Town. Is that right? Moravian Town. I think it's more Is it not Iv? Moravian Town. I don't know. Spend all day trying to pronounce things. Let's see here. Oh, Merlin, says Jason. Merlin. What did I say? I say something wrong? Probably. Brenda says, I keep thinking of May 2022. Yeah, that storm was nuts. Will this storm reach the 905? It's possible. It might just track through. Niagara. We'll see. Oh, Aiden says uses Snap too much for his own good. Check the map functions even if posted. Probably would have been close to Chatham, Kent. I would think. So, I said Merlin like the wizard. I see. Yeah, probably close to Chatham, Kent. Aiden, if you want to go searching for it, that would be great. If you could do a screen recording of it, that would be fantastic. If you can find it. I think I have Snapchat. I'll have to... No, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the help. Awesome. Let us know if you find it. Yeah, if our Snapchat detectives can go searching for that Snap video, that would be helpful. 89 kilometer an hour gust at Rondeau. Rondeau. Yeah. So it looks like Rondeau, my bad. Rondeau. Yeah, it looks like the strong winds are reaching the surface. Mark says, "Quit picking on Sky." No, good. This has been going on for 10 years. I've been live streaming severe weather in Canada for 10 years, and yeah, I know it's okay. I appreciate people phonetically spelling it out, going the extra mile to help me sound it out and pronounce it properly, and then laughing at myself because I forget it the next year. So it just goes over and over. See, Rondo, yeah, Rondo, Lindsay, thank you, appreciate it. Rondo. Let's see here. Updated radar. Interesting returns here near Cairo. So noisy compared to American radar. Let's go see what American radar is showing us, and it's got big dropouts, but this might be a merge. Sometimes when storms merge together, they create some interesting velocity signatures. So Candace says it's hard to pronounce Ontario little towns. You think it's hard to pronounce Ontario towns? Every time I try to live stream in like Manitoba and Alberta, and Alberta's not so bad, but Manitoba and Saskatchewan. I tried to live stream in Nova Scotia once. That didn't go so well. New Brunswick, also not so well. Yeah, I'll take Ontario towns all day long. For all these French towns that are out west and out east, I get destroyed on. People are just like, you're obviously not from this province. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm trying, but I'm definitely not from those provinces. I live in ye old Barrie, Ontario. Yeehaw. Okay. So, yeah, so still could be marginally severe wind gusts with these storms as they track to the east. It certainly got real interesting as it was coming into Amherstburg earlier. I was like sweating trying to get the live stream going. Yeah. Holly says, I'm from Nova Scotia and I still cannot pronounce some of them. Haha. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. But it's okay. I don't mind. So much easier before we live stream because we just like type the name and then no one says you pronounce it wrong. That's great. And that didn't last long because obviously live streaming is important. So we like doing this in real time. So continuing to watch these US radars. It doesn't look as strong as it once did, which is good. It might be weakening a little bit. It's only early though. It's not even 1 p.m. So we've got time. We've got time to see what happens with this environment. I'm going to go check on a few things here. Let me just throw it to Canadian radar. I'll swipe it over to reflectivity, which we're all used to looking at. And I will hit play so we can see some animation of where this is moving. Cool. Okay, Jason says, was very windy and hailing a lot in Thamesville. That's right, Thames. T-H-A-M. Tem. Anyways, it has passed now. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. That's what I remember. I remember being in school, and I remember THAM wouldn't be tham. It would be tem. Does anyone else think that doesn't make any sense? Okay, it's just me. Just me. I'm the weirdo. I'm definitely the weirdo who doesn't understand why THAM is sounded out to be tem. We go through this every single year. Okay. I just want to take a peek at a few things in the background here. Give me just a moment. I'd really love to see that Snapchat video if somebody could find it. That would be interesting. That would be certainly interesting to see, if possible. But if not, that's okay. It's okay. We'll take it as we get it here. Looks like this was a little bit ago, 12 minutes ago, but the severe thunderstorm warning for Essex County, of course, and Windsor and Amherstburg and Leamington was dropped, of course, because there's nothing going on down there right now. So that makes perfect sense. And I'm just going to double check the latest model runs. If anybody saw the NAM this morning, I was like, whoa. First I saw the her, and I was like, okay. And then I saw the NAM, and I was like, all right. I am posting about this immediately. And then, of course, things picked up pretty good. So it looks like there's still some potential north of Lake Erie. Yeah, we're still seeing some potential. And the environment is still there, just all the way into Niagara. Still severe thunderstorm potential there. And then, again, mainly over by Cornwall now. Over by Cornwall and right along the Quebec border of Eastern Ontario. So if you're in Eastern Ontario, the main risk seems to be right along the Lake Ontario area. That might actually be more interesting than what we're seeing here in deep southwestern Ontario today. But marginal risk in general, maybe some hail, damaging wind gusts are possible, and frequent lightning, a little bit of flooding possible. That seems to be the case today. So there's that. Let me just peek around at a few different things. Yeah, Niagara's next on the list, I would think. Alana says, please make sure I'm not the one teaching my kid geography. Someone said, drinking milk? I am drinking milk. I have amazing milk over here. It's great. It's great for acid reflux. It's fantastic. Especially if it's skim milk, though. Only skim milk. The other stuff's not good for it. That's fantastic. That's good. Okay. Cole found a video from Chatham, Kent. Interesting. Still love to see that video from... where's my Snapchat detective there? Jason says, the English language is one of the most complicated. You're doing great. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Chatham has a street named... I'm not even going to pronounce it. Oh, I see. La Croix? Yeah, I know. The X's can be confusing for sure. Hi, Facebook user. Let's see here. Let me see. It's the French influence. That makes sense. Of course. THAM, but influenced by the French, of course.
Adam, check team chat.
I am. I see it there. Yeah, I see that photo. That was on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, I actually nailed the pronunciation of LaCroix. Yay. Linda says, Thamesville's getting hail and wind. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Lori's got a better way to spell it. CROY, LaCroix. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to take a peek at this tweet. Take a peek at this tweet. I'm going to take a tweet peek from Rebecca Lewis on, let's see if I can get it here. Certainly an interesting looking storm. Looks more surface-based than I thought they would be. All right, I'm going to stop this animation and take a peek and see if we can get some new radar images here. St. Thomas is in it now, it looks like. A lot of noise. Ah, so noisy. Radar noise is brutal. Trying to get something, trying to understand what's happening when it's all noisy is really tricky. Looks like Chatham-Kent's getting some rain now. Excuse me. And let's see here. And some winds, probably. Now we have to switch over to Canadian radar only, which is so messy and so noisy. Like something like this looks like rotation, but then it's just a mess. That's great. That's just great. Okay, so these are the storms that we're watching. There's still some potential for the Niagara regions as these track to the east. We will watch that closely. Oh, there's Rose with a nice comment. It's been a while since we've seen you. You have such a calming, comforting aura about you. Thanks for all you do to keep us safe. Thank you so much, Rose. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try not to get too excited. In the early years, I got quite excited. Like, flip my desk excited over stuff, but just got to take a deep breath. Stay calm, stay cool, and try to get the word out about these storms. It's all we can do. All we can do is try to stay calm and collected. I mean, even if you're in the path of a dangerous risk, you kind of have to do the same thing, right? I mean, you have to get the point across to the rest of your family members, but you also have to stay calm and cool at the same time. It's tricky. There are times though where I've and like, where's the cat? We need to be in the basement. No, yeah, there's been those times before, but definitely yelling doesn't help. It certainly doesn't, but sometimes it's like, please listen, we need to go downstairs now. But thankfully, we have such great technology where you can track exactly where a risk is. For example, when the tornado hit Barrie, even though I'm in Barrie, if you watch the live stream, I'm like, I'm in Barrie, but this is walking across Mapleview right now, and I'm over by the hospital, so I'm good. I'm fine. And then like the lights went and came back on, and I'm like, oof. That's a funny one, Andrew. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I mean, thankfully we can see exactly, typically, unless it's a big widespread storm like obviously that brutal derecho that happened. In that case, it's kind of like everybody needs to get to a safe place, because I mean, everybody in the general path of it, because it's such a widespread damaging storm. But in the case of like an isolated tornado, it's so very clear and isolated, and that's why we're excited about Instant Weather Pro. I can't wait for you folks to play with this, because you'll be able to see for yourself exactly. You can zoom right into literally every pixel of every radar station down to the street level. Tilt it. It's even 3D buildings, they get right down to street level. Pretty darn detailed, so that's good. Let's see here. Brenda says, I'm in South Crest area of London. Didn't see the lightning. Was it in the east? Oh. Can't see that direction from here. I'm not sure. Let me double check. Catherine says, hail again, the West Elgin. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Someone says London is lighting up. Yeah, looks like London should see some of this storm. Yeah, it's moving northeast, so London's definitely going to get it. Yeah, you're going to be in heavy rain. It's going to clear up for 1 second, and then you're going to be in heavy rain, if you're not already. And lightning seems to be likely as well. So yeah, many folks asking about London. London is one of our biggest communities by far, and you're definitely getting in it. It's coming. Now, is it severe? I mean, lightning's always severe, but I mean, there could be some strong winds in there as well too. So we'll have to see. There's actually a little bit of rotation here over Lake Erie. Some developing rotation. I'm wondering if that might end up tracking towards the. Oh yeah, multiple frames here too. Check this out. Okay, where do you think you're going there, sneaky little storm? So this sneaky little storm starting to show. This is broad rotation here. The red versus the green. This is tightening up a little bit, and now it's tightening up even more. Where do you think you're going, sneaky little storm? Always trying to sneak around like I'm not paying attention. But I'm watching. Not being picked up by Buffalo yet. Not being picked up by Cleveland because it's kind of right in this this data dropout here. But our Canadian radar says, I don't think so. I'm watching. Yeah, that little cell there. Might be what the models are picking up on. It's about to hit Long Point here. Yeah, this is going to travel right through Long Point. And let's see here. But will it go far enough north to head towards Port Colborne, Dunnville? I think so. I think it will. But I'm not sure. But I think so. I think it could head that way. We got time, though. We got time to watch it. Abdul says, is the radar map you're using available on the Instant Weather website and app? It will be. That's the plan. This actually is a website. This is literally JavaScript and HTML. This is the first Canadian Pro Weather website ever, I think. I think so. People are talking about April Fool's Day. Turns out it's past noon, so it doesn't count anymore. I don't know if that's true, but I think it might be. But it's past noon, so I don't think it matters anymore. But yeah, Abdul, this will be available. We're going to put this inside of the Instant Weather app, and our plan is to launch that by May. Don't hold me to that, but that's the plan. I think it's going to happen. I mean, we use it all the time. It works great, and the dev team is going to town right now, getting things ready. So we want to launch it this spring, quote unquote. And I mean, it is spring now, so it would be nice if we launched it right now. That would be cool. But yeah, that's the plan. We want to get it out there. We want to launch it. So it's going to be an in-app subscription. Like in our in-app subscription page, there'll be a bar that says Instant Weather Pro. You click that, and then you'll have 3 options for that: a good, better, and best. Really windy outside right now in Barrie. The trees are dancing. Yeah, they're dancing. Catherine says, hail is crazy in West Elgin. My grass is white again. Super windy too. Let's see here. Andy says, I'm so worried. Well, don't be. There's no point in being worried. You know, it's funny. I've been saying this line a long time, but I also hear Ryan Hall say it now. But I mean, it's such a classic line. It's neither of us invented it, but it's don't be scared, be prepared. That's right. I've been saying that since. I've been saying that for a long, long time. A long time. Let's see here. Jay says, past noon for the April Fool's rule is only if it's on a school day. Ah. I didn't know it was that deep. Kyle says, storm's going to hold up until they get to into Toronto, into Etobicoke. Maybe. Maybe. Cyclone says, Ryan Hall is pretty cool. You know what? I think he does a great job. I hear people trash talk him all the time for different reasons, and you know what? He's obviously pretty dedicated. Someone said last night during the tornado outbreak, he only stood up twice in a 10-hour live stream or something. So, yeah, you got to give it to the guy. I mean, it's a lot just tracking weather in Canada, which is what I do. But tracking weather in the U.S. is non-stop. I mean, I just sleep all winter and hibernate until storm season, and then I noticed that like it's just nonstop tornado risks all the way through the winter in the U.S. So, the rotation continues over Lake Erie. I see you. Don't think you're sneaking around here. I see you there. Rotation over Lake Erie, heading over towards Long Point. I better post about it. It's time. 1 second here. I'll do that right now. I'll do that right now. Give me 1 second here. Storm over Lake Erie, trying to sneak its way into our area. I think based on the path, I don't know how far north I should make this polygon. Yeah, I better put it all the way up to St. Catharines, I think. It might not even reach there, but it's possible. Let's see here. I would think like that. This is tricky. Tricky. I don't even think all of St. Catharines is going to get this. I split it right through St. Catharines. Okay. Minor rotation detected. Hold on a second here. Minor rotation detected. We detected minor rotation in the storm over Lake Erie. Over eastern Lake Erie. That is tracking to the northeast towards Long Point. And eventually the Niagara regions, such as Dunnville and Port Colborne. Dunnville and Port Colborne. Okay, and what time is it? It is 1:05. I'll put 1:06 p.m. As soon as I said that, I switched to 1:06. Saturday, April 1st, 2023. Yeah, okay. Looks good to me. Yada, yada, yada. Clickety, clickety, clickety. Sounds good. And sending. So if you're in that area and you have our app or our text message alerts, you will receive that notification. Yes, that is done. Okay. Cool. I think there's a few notifications I need to remove. Let me just double check here. What do we got here? Damaging wind potential to Chatham Kent. I think that is done. Yeah, that's all falling apart pretty good. Think so? I think so. I'll get rid of that one. The minor rotation Grand Point one I will get rid of as well. And all the live streaming ones are still up. Slight severe risk is still up. Power lines down on Kent Bridge Road. Oh, okay. We're getting some damage then. Where exactly is that? Power lines down, yeah. So obviously there's some damage there. Where is Kent Bridge Road? Let's see here. At Darrow Line. Yeah, we got that report from Tempest Hunter on Twitter. 1 second here, let me pull it up. Interesting. Where exactly is that? Where? Kent Bridge Road. 1 second here. Kent Bridge Road at Darrow Line. Okay, I'm going to try to find this. 1 second. Give me just a moment. Bridge Road, Darrow Line. Yes. Okay, I found it. Where is it? That's west of Thamesville, which is northeast of Chatham. So yeah, there's some damage on that storm. So, and that storm's still going fairly strong. Still under severe thunderstorm warning. and still seeing some minor rotation on it. So I think I'm going to send another notification for that one. I think so. Which is this one I'm talking about right here. That's still that same storm. Obviously, it produced some brief damage earlier. Yeah, that little section right there continues to be damaging, and that's the section that's potentially moving toward London. So there's that. Just give me a second. Okay, so yeah, so there's that. All right, I'm gonna send a notification here. Looks like it's going to the northeast, maybe into the London area. All right, send an update on that. Damaging wind damage reported. One sec. Wind damage reported. Reported. There has been. What did she say? There's been some wind damage reported with this storm tracking through Glencoe and moving east northeast, potentially into the London areas. There has continued to be some minor signs of minor rotation on radar as well. Hail, flooding, and lightning are also possible. Okay, and that is 1:11 p.m. Saturday, April 1st, 2023. Okay, looks good to me. Clickety, clickety, and that will be sent to all of our folks in London as well, too, I believe. All right. Picking up some strength, actually. The latest update here looks like it's stronger. Yeah, look at this. What's going on here? Does this kind of have a hook? Anybody else seen this? This kind of looks like a baby little Flying V supercell. Got the Flying V at the top. It's got a hook at the bottom. And there's a little bit of a mezzo right here. What the heck is happening? And is that going east or north? Northeast, sorry. That looks like it's going due east. Did I put that up to St. Thomas? One sec here. Let me see. I did. Okay. I got it just... my line is like from here to here. My polygon goes like there. But this is actually moving a little bit more to the east. Huh. That's interesting. Interesting. Let's flip this over to correlation coefficient. Nothing? Okay. Interesting. I was just checking to see if there was a debris signature, but there's not. Excuse me. Where do you think you're going there, Lake Erie? Keep an eye on you. Please keep reminding me to keep an eye on our friend over Lake Erie. Trying to sneak around here. Like I don't notice you. It looks like the rotation may have weakened actually on the Lake Erie storm. But this one is interesting. This little guy right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's trying to... Definitely started to hook. I think it's trying to go to the northeast. So this is the storm we're paying closest attention to. We did have some reports of damaging winds that are moving on this storm as it tracks to the northeast, northeast. One second here. Interesting. Tempest Hunter again which is Tempest Hunter PH on Twitter. She's saying she did see some rotation on that storm and hail. Interesting. Let's see here. Huh. Interesting stuff. I hope everybody's staying safe. Yes, sorry, so many screens I'm watching. How many screens do I have today? This one's not even on. I don't know why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 8, but it's not on, so. I guess I'm 7 today. Side note, we're keeping an eye on Wednesday. We've been watching Wednesday for a while. Wednesday looks like it's trending to be a severe weather day for southwestern Ontario. I'm going to go check that right now, just in the background, to see. Yeah, Wednesday looks like it's got some potential. Some potential. I wonder if I can pick that up on NAM yet. Does that go all the way to Wednesday? No. Still got to look at the GFS and the Euro and the GEM. But these are all different weather models that we watch. But it looks like, see how Wednesday's trending. Yeah, looks like Wednesday looks pretty good. Southwestern Ontario mainly. Maybe Niagara as well too. But yeah, looks like some severe weather risk for southwestern Ontario on Wednesday is possible. So we are watching that closely. We'll see. Tess says, I can hear him. You can? What's happening? So that hook just dumped hail over and swirling winds, but didn't see actual rotation, says Catherine. Thank you very much. Thank you for that report. Andy says, I got no basement and I live in Chatham. Thanks for letting us know. Most interior room on the lowest level is probably the best place for you. People say they can't hear me because I'm in mumble mode, so I'm going to turn up my I'll turn up my microphone a little. Hopefully. I don't have my microphone right beside me, so that's probably why. But I'll put it here. Maybe this is a little bit better. Let me know if that's a little bit better, if you can hear me better that way. Aiden, did you find that video on Snapchat by any chance? Anybody find it? The Chatham Kent funnel cloud from Snapchat we heard about. Nobody took a screen record of. Anybody? Much better. Yeah, I'm in mumble mode. I'm just mumbling to myself. Peter says go in between doorways or in a bathtub. The problem with the bathtub idea is it's usually not on the lowest level. If your bathtub is upstairs, bathtub is off limits for hiding in the path of a tornado. If you're like, oh, let's go to the second floor to get in the bathtub. No, if the bathtub is in the basement, maybe. If the bathtub is on the lowest level of the house and you don't have a basement and it's in the most interior room, then sure. But if your bathtub's upstairs, the answer is no. That's a definite no. Yeah, so some damage from that. Oh, that makes sense that there's damage from that Thamesville storm because we were watching the damaging wind gusts get up to, on radar, they got up to 100 and, was it again? 103 or 107 kilometers an hour, something to that extent. Brenda says, unless you're in an apartment building and disabled like I am, nowhere else to go. Bathtub is the most walls between me and the storm. Yeah, if the bathtub is in the most interior room with the most walls between you and the storm, that is a good place to go, for sure. For sure. Let's see. But if the bathtub is a myth, says Janice. I mean, if you're already in the lowest level and you're already in the most interior room and there happens to be a bathtub there, I mean, it's got walls that are stronger than your actual drywall. So, I mean, it's only not a good idea if it's anywhere but the lowest level. If it's like if it's on the second floor, then the answer is no. We always have to get that across, because I can just see people saying, "Oh no," like they're like, "Oh no, I'm under tornado warning. Where's the bathtub? It's in the attic," and they like run up to the attic. No, I don't know who would have a bathtub in the attic. I'm just saying. Definitely, Commander Branford says, make sure you wear a helmet and or put a mattress over top of you in the bathtub. Yeah, I mean, helmet seems like a good idea. The mattress thing, I mean, you want to be able to breathe. So maybe like if you had the mattress, like if it was there, like you don't have to put it on top of you until the house starts shaking and the walls start coming down. Then maybe pull it on top of you. Like you don't have to have it on top of you like the whole time while nothing's happening. That would be kind of silly. But I mean, hey, to each their own. Hey, there's Brendan. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, that storm's still looking pretty organized. It's moving. This is and some interesting velocities going on here. Looks very broad, very. By broad, I mean kind of like large and not super well defined. It's kind of like you have broad rotation. It's like a large area rotating, not this tiny little sharp couplet. It's more of just this broad area of rotation. This is it's got some broad rotation to it. Let me just pull up Cleveland. Cleveland giving us anything? No. Detroit's probably not giving us anything anymore. Probably not. All right, we're stuck with Canadian radar, and let's go take a look at Buffalo. Might give us something. Anything? Not much. Buffalo looks windy. This is also crossing the radar north-south line here, so that might be influencing that slightly. We'll see here. Yeah, what we saw west of Thamesville earlier was pretty strong, and we did get some damage reports from that. So there's that. Interesting. Laura says, is basement ideal? I would think so. I would definitely think the basement is ideal. Crystal says, I get severe anxiety when storms are coming. Will Toronto see any of this? Toronto might see some storms with this line. I think the risk of severe weather for Toronto is null. I don't think, it's unlikely that there's going to be severe weather in Toronto. Might be some lightning, but I don't think there's going to be severe weather. Len says, clarify this for everyone. Corner of the basement, which is best? South, west, southeast, northeast corner. That is tricky. That depends on your situation. I would say if there's an interior room in the basement, having walls between you and the general area of the basement is probably better than sticking to one corner. Some people think they need to like go up against the edge of where something is coming in, but it doesn't. Debris is the problem. It's not necessarily what corner of the basement you're in. It's a tricky situation. Typically the storms come from the southwest, so some people think they need to be in the southwest corner because I don't know. Does that make sense? I think you need to try to be in an interior room in the basement if possible, but don't quote me on it. D says, do we have to buy stars to communicate? No. You're communicating right now, and you don't have to buy stars. I can't even see the stars on this platform, but I do appreciate the folks who have bought stars. And if you do buy stars, thank you so much. Sincerely appreciate it. But no, it is not a requirement. And if you have questions, let us know. And if being able to communicate means if I see your comment, I'll try to communicate with you. But the comments go really fast from all the different platforms we're on. So So it's a bit tricky. London is thundering and pouring, says Dylan. Thank you very much, Dylan. Appreciate that. Chris says that violent brain injury is the leading cause of death in tornadoes. Yeah, flying debris that hits you in the head is probably the leading cause. So, yeah, that's why wearing a helmet's not a terrible idea if you have like a hockey helmet or something. It's not a bad idea. You might look silly, but looking silly and being safe are two very different levels of existence. It's like, be safe, look silly. Oh, whatever. If I look silly, who cares? At least I'm safe. Melissa, I can't see exactly what that tweet was, but let me know. That was Weather Ontario there on Twitter. Lamb says, what happens if you're out in public, like at a park? My only suggestion is don't be there in the first place. And the way that you can avoid that is by watching our severe weather forecast. So follow us on Facebook, download our free app called Instant Weather. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. Obviously, if you get caught in those situations, you want to get to a sturdy building, and you want to try to get to the lowest level of that sturdy building. It looks like a spin up. Interesting. Okay, I'll check that out, Melissa. Thank you very much. Yeah, but if but the way to avoid it is to see if there's a severe thunderstorm risk. We track every single severe thunderstorm risk that happen. We're putting forecasts out in advance. We're sending notifications when things are approaching. And in those particular cases, if there is a severe thunderstorm risk for your area, then try not to be in a park when that happens. That's my best advice. Is the best place to be is not outside when that happens. I know that's easier said than done. Some people are like, who knows if it's gonna hit? We should still go to the party instead of park. Those are the decisions you make. And then in that particular case, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of it. So, and in that, hopefully you can still stay safe, and chances are that you will. It's tricky. Let's see here. Sean says, what's the best app for raw data in Canada? It's going to be Instant Weather Pro, which you can see right here, but we're launching it in a month or so. So keep an eye out for that. Instant Weather Pro is what we're going to be launching. Lisa says, Instant Weather app is a wonderful app. Thank you very much, Lisa. Appreciate it. In the video, there's lots of rotation, says Melissa. Yeah, I got to go check that out. So let me be able to check out that tweet you're talking about. 1 second here. Our friends at WX Ontario. Whoa, that is crazy. What? Why is it sideways? Whoa, where was that? Oh, wait a minute. Are you sure that's not an old video? One second here. Are you sure that's not an old video? Is it the one pinned to the top of their page? Because that's from 2022. If it's the one pinned to the top of their page, that's 2022. So that happens. Let me double check. Let's see if I can find your link again. Hold on. Where's your link? Is it right there? Yeah, there it is. So it was 2357 at the end of it. 1 second here. 2357. Yeah, that's an old video. So if you look, Melissa, if you look at the, it is, she says, yeah, I know, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. You got to go below the pin post. You should probably take that off the pin post, I would think. I will send them a message. They're friends of ours here, and we'll send them a message. So, Janice says, how much will Instant Weather Pro be? Good question. We're still working out the logistics of that. We think we have a pricing strategy that is feasible. But it's not. We don't have it set in stone yet, so we're going to try to make it as reasonable as possible. It will be an in-app subscription in our existing instant weather app. You will also get access to the website version of it as well, which is cool. And yeah, so there's that. Yeah, all subscribers to it will also have website access, and all subscribers to the website version will also have access to the in-app version. I think so. That's the plan. We'll try our best to make that happen. It's not easy, but we'll try our best. So, Riley says, just tuning in now, don't have audio. Can someone let me know where the rotation was detected? There's been a couple different areas of rotation. Can somebody send a message to Riley that says there was rotation in deep southwestern Ontario, and but right now we're not seeing anything too strong rotation wise. Yeah, nothing too strong rotation wise, but there is some rotation over Lake Erie still that we're watching. But it is pretty minor, and it may not reach the Niagara area. We'll see. We will see. We will see. But nothing from Detroit Radar anymore. I think we can leave Detroit Radar alone. Yeah, so if you're in the deep southwest, you're good now. The main risk is going to be this storm that's tracking east towards St. Thomas and through the London area. Tons of rain in behind it as well, and some strong winds. That will eventually head over towards Niagara as the day progresses. And main risk there is probably just going to be hail and damaging winds. But it's so cold now. Yeah, that's the thing. Is the lack of heat is definitely holding these things back a little bit. Graham says, is there going to be a beta version? Yeah, I was thinking we're really close to launching kind of a beta before it goes live for everyone, and maybe for those who maybe commit to like a 1-year subscription or something like that, then we can launch it early to those folks. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. So I've been trying my best to get that all ready and prepared. But I mean, we're super excited to launch this. We can't wait. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Now I wonder. Interesting. I wonder if this would work or not. Maybe not. Let's see here. I wonder. Let me see. I have some ideas, but I think they might cause issues, so I'm gonna leave it. Would love to beta test, says Alicia. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll think about how to launch that. Andrew Wild said, anyone else watch the live streams for 8 hours straight last night with the outbreak in the States? Yep. I watched a lot on Radar, but I definitely did watch quite a bit of the different streams and different videos, and it was crazy. It was crazy. Yes. Melissa says, can't wait, but making us wait. LOL. Sorry. It's coming. I can't wait for you folks to try it. It's going to be great. So, I mean, you get to just watch it here on the live stream. There's my wife. Yes, honey. I'm still live streaming. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, 1 second here. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back. Hail in South London. A report. Hail in South London. Light hail, says Ron. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hopefully my noise canceling is cutting the dog out. Dog continues to bark. Maybe. We'll see. Pretty good noise canceling. Yes, my wife needed me. She had to get some Easter stuff. She needed Easter stuff. Okay. Where the heck was it? Oh, there we go. Okay. I can't hear a dog. Yay! Can barely hear him barking. Yeah, I turned my noise canceling even higher. It's artificial intelligence noise canceling. It works pretty good. Hail in South London. Yep. Let's see here. Just looking through all your comments. Aiden, I'll take a peek at that. Thank you very much. Severe thunderstorm warning for London now, says Matt. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Hold on a second. I've got my headphones out, but it doesn't matter because if Alana needs me, she can reach me through my TV for some reason. I don't know why. What's going on with my sound? Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning for 1 second here. Yeah. St. Thomas areas and for London as well too. Interesting. Yeah, there's some embedded rotation signatures there. They don't really line up to reflectivity that great, but I've seen crazier things happen. So let's see if we can get a new radar frame on the screen here. Interesting. Yeah, they're not really lining up to reflectivity that well. And there's a little embedded piece up there. That's also seems like noise. Let's bring up Cleveland radar. Yeah, Cleveland's not showing much. A little something going on there, but not that much. I want to keep an eye on our friend over Erie. Still not really seeing anything too substantial. I'm surprised you can't hear the dog. Impressive. Barking at something in the backyard. I had to open the window because it's boiling in here. What's the temperature in here? 26. I'm telling you, I think I'm going to get an air conditioner. I'm going to get one of those window air conditioners maybe for this storm season because sometimes it is boiling in here. Look, it's B on Twitch. Our friend from Twitch. Hey, Adam and Co. and Twitch Squad. Checking in from Fort Erie. So far the sky is only just starting to darken over the horizon with a bit of cloud cover. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's not there yet. Definitely not there yet. Wind super strong all of a sudden, St. Thomas. Thank you. Yeah, there's a little something going on there. Something going on in St. Thomas. This little, whatever this is. It doesn't line up to reflectivity that great, but there might be something going on there. I'm hoping it's not. Interesting. 1 second here. I'm just peeking around at a few different things. Give me a moment, and I will see. Yeah. Probably just noise. I think. Pretty strong low pressure right now. Eastern Ontario, 990. So for those who have those who suffer from migraines due to weather. I'm sure it's not great right now. Yeah, the environment isn't that organized, so it's a bit questionable. I think I'm going to remove some of the notifications I sent out earlier. Let me just pull those up. Give me a second here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that wind damage reported. Minor rotation detected. I'm going to leave that one up. Everything else is fine. Okay. Miranda says almost time to sing. I don't know about that. Still gotta keep an eye out here. Bring us back to 1. And let's watch this animate. Okay, so second here. Oh, seen some damage photos. Queen's Line outside of Chatham with some hydro poles that were snapped. Whoa. Whoa. Interesting. Yeah, they were snapped right off. That's not great. That's not great. As a comment, which post? 1 second here. Yeah, some at Queen's Line outside of Chatham Kent, hydro poles snapped right off. So clearly some pretty strong winds there. Okay. So Tempest Hunter did say that there was a funnel north of Chatham around that time. There is a report in the comments on our... Whoa. 1 second here, I'm going to ask. Ask them if they took that photo. One second here, I'm going to message this person and find out if they took that photo here. But yeah, pretty interesting photo of some strong winds heading into Niagara as well too. We're watching closely. Still waiting for that next update. Just 1 second here. All right, I'll be with you in just a second. Just have to help my lovely wife again. Give me just a moment, and I will be right back. But I will put this on loop in the meantime. Make sure it has the latest frame, and I will loop this, and then I will be right back in just a minute. And we'll continue tracking these storms as they head east and towards potentially the Niagara regions as well too. So let me just back this up so you can kind of see the whole area. And that looks pretty good. Okay, Give me just a moment. I will be right back with you. I'm back. Picked up a banana on my way. My favorite. Some school safe snacks. And one of those like cheese and like the nuts and the yeah, those things are good. Oh, we got a video of the damage. Everybody's all right. That was a pretty strong storm that moved through that area. Oh, the dogs are going crazy again. Oh, they're lucky they're cute. Okay, let's see here. I think we have a new frame. Yeah, that St. Thomas storm looks pretty darn windy. That's about it. Not seeing any rotation right now, which is good. I'm gonna actually remove that rotation notification for Niagara right now. I'm gonna wait. This little cell right here looks pretty strong. The winds are pretty strong here, 106 kilometers an hour, and they're heading in that direction. So he lives. Yep, still here. Cecilia says bookend vortex. Bookend vortex. Do do do. Bookend vortex. I'm back. I have an echo, says Michael. I have an echo. If I have an echo, refresh the stream. I think that would help. Do I have an echo? Anybody else? Echo? St. Thomas, crazy winds, says Jenna. Yeah, it looks pretty strong, but I'm not seeing a rotation on it. But there might be a marginal damaging wind risk with it. I mean, certainly some strong winds in there. Some high values. 78. What else am I seeing here? Excuse me. Yeah, the highest I'm seeing is 72, 78. I'd say that's probably the highest. We have a video of the damage from earlier. No echo with me? Yeah, if you have an echo, just refresh. Heavy rain and small hail in Ingersoll, says Brooks. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I want to show you this video. Where is it? Is it on? It's on Ontario Storm Reports. I'm going to find it here. One sec. See if I can bring this up. I've got skills-ish. Bringing thing up skills. Not really. See if I can get this up, though. I might be able to make this work. If I go into studio mode, yeah, let's try. I'm going to see what I can figure out here. Okay. Let me see here. Facebook group. All right, that should work. And let me see if I can get this to... Okay. Something's happening. Kind of. My cat's doing a lot of meowing. So there's that. But he's all set up outside. He's good. He's good to go. So I don't know what the problem is. All right, 1 second here. Should be able to trim this here. 1 sec. That looks good. Bring this down. And bring this over. And I think we should be good. Okay. Let's see here. And then maybe add a background. I think I can add the background. Add existing. This one. Aha! It worked. Success. Okay. So let's switch over to that frame. Aha! Look at that. So this is first off, this is Debbie's Red Lake, Ontario sunset. That's cool. But and the snow. Oh my goodness, the snow in Sudbury is ridiculous. That's the Mother Nature April Fool's joke for Sudbury. Severe thunderstorm warning for Niagara. Makes sense. Those pretty strong winds coming in there. Let's refresh this so we can make sure we've got the latest Ontario Storm Reports on Facebook. This is our Facebook group here. Let's see if we can find that damage video. Was it a comment? Why is everything a comment? You've got now. Okay. So I'm going to just show you the comments of this particular, of course, this. Now I'm going to this over. Okay. Let's shimmy this a bit, and I'll drag this out a bit. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so let's go into the comments here. So there's the damage we're talking about. Let's see if I can bring this up. Will this be full screen? I'm pretty close. This was ABJ posted this, and then there's Tara's video. But you can see it right here. Actually, if I can shimmy it over slightly, can I make it even? Can I make it even bigger? Huh. Yeah, this is the damage that was on Queen's. Was it Queen's line? They said. I mean, these hydro poles are sheared right off. That's not great. So this is Queen's line outside of Chatham, just past the curve, says ABJ. And he says that's probably why Merlin had no power. And then Tara's video. If I can make that any bigger. Probably. Oh, she drove past it. Okay, so let's see Tara's video. Oh, lots of tree branches down. And then, ouch. Damage. Yeah. Could have been maybe a little downburst there. A little microburst. Very isolated damage there. Looks like that house. And that one was tilted. But, yeah, most of these are sheared right off. Snapped right off, so. And that video was posted by Tara Guy. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Queen's Line, yeah. So again, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Niagara and Welland right now. And this post again was done by ABJ. Thank you very much for sharing that. Appreciate it. Let's head back over to radar. St. Thomas seeing some pretty strong winds on that same storm line there. And oh yeah, they sure did pick up. I hope this is noise. This is 146 kilometers an hour in St. Thomas. Probably noise. I don't think it's that high. This would make more sense. These 85, 89 kilometer an hour winds that are over here. Pretty strong. Patricia says we need snacks on the stream. We actually don't, because all he wants to do is snuggle right now, and it's a little bit difficult for me to do anything when the boss snuggles. I'm going to send a notification, because we're seeing very strong winds there. I'm going to send a notification to those folks in the path of that St. Thomas storm, because we had reports of very strong winds on that. I want to make sure everybody who's in the path of that knows what's up. So let me just head over to map in the background. Normally I do this on stream, but I didn't have it set up for this morning. And this afternoon's live stream. But how long have we been streaming for? 2 hours. Oh, cool. All right, so let me just zoom in and get that St. Thomas storm. And I think that's moving due east. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, it's looking eastish, maybe a little bit of a northeast path. Yeah, I'm going to go this way and do this way. Okay. All the way over to Tilsonburg. So, damage and wind potential. We've had reports of very strong winds in St. Thomas, and radar is suggesting damaging wind gusts are possible as the storm tracks east towards Tilsonburg, etc. And that is at 2 p.m. on Saturday, April 1st, 2023. There we go. Clickety, clickety, clackety, clack. Okay, and I'm sending that right now. So folks in my little polygon should receive that notification now. Yeah, just south of the border is an enhanced risk. An enhanced risk from the National Weather Service. Okay. Amazing Person 3409, our friend on YouTube. Hey, how's it going? Says the storms over Lake Erie are packed with lightning. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, quite a bit, and they're heading into the Port Colborne area, and they could see some strong winds with that. Let's take a peek at that, actually. Let's take a peek at that. Buffalo, what's Buffalo radar saying? Yeah, still very strong winds. These ones over Lake Erie are 95 kilometers an hour, 97, and they might just clip Fort Erie as they track. Let's see, play on this and see what we have. They might just clip Lake Erie. Or sorry, Fort Erie. Of course, they're on Lake Erie. Yeah, see, they're heading to the northeast. You can see that here. Actually, it might hit right in between Port Colborne and, yeah, I'm glad there's a severe thunderstorm warning out for that cell because it's moving in hot and it's got some really strong winds on it here. So let's go forward. Yeah, this is 104 kilometers an hour. That's the latest frame. Yeah. Yeah, latest frame is up to 113 kilometers an hour. This cell is going to head right towards Port Colborne, Crystal Beach, and Fort Erie. And if you are in the path of that, it's going to get pretty nasty. Angela says a bunch of shingles in my front yard in St. Thomas. Okay, so minor wind damage, clearly reaching severe levels if it's ripping shingles off. Russell Shaw coming in with Elliott Lake with 2 feet of snow in Elliott Lake, southwest of Sudbury. Oof, that doesn't sound great. Sorry to hear that. Sharon Little says a huge 100-kilometer winds between Newbury and Rodney, West Lorne. Lost 3 strong spruce in our window. Hit porch, but all's good. Friends over clearing it out. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing that. That sucks. I'm glad you guys are safe. That doesn't sound very good. So more tree damage reported. I'm going to go share some of that with the NTP here. Let me just jump back to where that... 1 second here. Where is that port? Oh, someone asking was there a microburst go through St. Thomas? Because there's a lot of trees down in St. Thomas. A lot of reports of trees down in St. Thomas. Hopefully everybody's okay. Hopefully everybody's all right. Sharing some of those reports with the Northern Tornadoes Project. Yeah, hopefully everybody's all right. It's common St. Thomas now, says Heidi. Yeah, how was that, though? It sounded like it was pretty intense. Tia says, hopefully West Lorne Arena is okay. I've been voting for them in today's Hockeyville contest. Go West Lorne. Some medium tree damage. Kevin says some medium tree damage have snapped just south of London, just outside of the flood zones. I reported a moment ago. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Hopefully everybody's staying safe from the flooding. Remember, if you come across a road that is flooded, turn around. Don't drown is the phrase that is used, and it's used for good reason because, especially in the U.S., more folks perish in flooding than any other natural disaster. Flooding is the number one by far for fatalities. So, yeah, long story short is, like I can get through this. The water's probably not too deep, and then the water's extremely deep, or the road has eroded, and it's, there's a huge sinkhole there, and you didn't see it, and then it's too late, and now you got problems. So, long story short is be safe, folks. If you do come across a flooded road, it's definitely not worth it. Just turn around, try to find another way. But yeah, they're talking about. Let's go take a look at St. Thomas here. I want to look at it from Cleveland if we still have Cleveland data up. Oh, of course, I did it again. It happens. I'll go back to my regular headshot. Hey! Get that reloaded. Give me just a second here. That's better. Okay. So, let me just jump back to it. Yeah, so it looks like some tree damage just south of London as well, too. Fence is down at my sister's place in Eastern St. Thomas, says Ninja Nugget 1229 on Twitch. Thank you very much. Big thunder started in Fort Erie. Yeah, there's some really strong winds coming into Fort Erie. I would be generally concerned if you're in the Fort Erie area. I would think you probably want to get to, want to definitely be inside. It looks pretty nasty. And yeah, so it looks like maybe a little microburst potentially went through St. Thomas. I have to wait to see what it is confirmed as, but there's quite a lot of tree damage, even more tree damage reported now. Yeah, it's not great. Rain just starting in Fort Erie right now. Yeah, so the rain you're experiencing right now is not the problem. The problem is this, what I'm about to show you. This is the problem. These winds that are associated with this cell, this tiny little cell, if it hits Fort Erie, it's got winds of 97 kilometers an hour. 102.6 right here. I can find another 102.6, 197. Yeah, this is not good. It's going to be heading towards Crystal Beach, Fort Erie. Let's see here. I don't know how that happened. Okay, 1 second here. Let's load it up again. But yeah, that is the current frame. That's not great. So, give me just a moment here. If those winds hit, that could be a problem. So hopefully everybody's staying safe with that. Looks like there could be some strong winds near Port Colborne right now. And really strong winds coming into that area. So I would think that, yeah, Crystal Beach and Fort Erie Crescent Park, those are the areas that we're concerned about the most. But there is actually strong winds potentially coming into the Dunville area, Port Colborne, Welland, and through Niagara. And that's why there's a severe thunderstorm warning, of course, from Environment Canada for those areas right now. Joseph says, anything for Kitchener in the next hour? Yeah, probably a lot of rain. Let's see here. Oh, you're already getting it, so more rain behind it. Rain, and more rain. Let me hit play here, and you can see which way it's going. So this is all heavy rain right here, heading towards Kitchener. So there's definitely a flooding risk, especially those in the path of this. So flooding risk, we've already heard about some flooding in London, and there's a lot more rain on the way. So flooding risk for London, flooding risk for Kitchener, Woodstock, yeah. 4,000 without power, kind of in the area where a lot of that tree damage happened. Not including Chatham's power, 4,000 without power on Hydro 1. Yeah. Yeah, so, eventful day. Thank you, sir, says Joseph. You're very welcome. Not a problem. You're muted. I'm muted? Anybody? Am I muted? I don't think so. I think it's coming through. If I'm muted, refresh. Refresh. Okay. Atlanta confirms I am not muted. Refresh the stream. There we go. That should help. I told him to refresh the stream. On every platform. I don't know which one he's on, but every single platform we're live streaming on. Oh, it came back working now. Sorry, he says. Okay, all good. All good. My daughter is driving to Niagara Falls. It's scary there right now. Other than the lightning, it's not a big deal, but the winds are going to pick up big time. So the winds could be a problem. And he says, how about Chatham now? I think Chatham's okay. Kevin says, where can I send you a video of the water? And Kevin, if you're on Facebook, you can post it on Ontario Storm Reports, which is our group. It's the group with about 100, I think it's 160 or 170,000 folks on there. Or alternatively, you can email it to help@instantweather.ca. So send it over to that if you're not on Facebook. But if you're on Facebook, I'd actually prefer if you posted it to the group, because then everybody in the community can see it. So that's a great way to get the word out about stuff immediately. So Stormy says, "Hey Adam, hey Stormy." Yeah, what London's having is definitely going to come to Kitchener. Yeah, that rain is moving to the east, so definitely some flooding risk. And again, if there was already flooding in London, there's a lot more rain on the way right now, so there could obviously be some more flooding. And Adam, do you guesstimate Hamilton will remain subsevere? I think so, other than maybe a flood risk because of all that rain that's heading your way. But I think Hamilton should remain generally subsevere. I mean, it might get pretty windy there, but we're not expecting any isolated severe thunderstorms for Hamilton as of this point, I believe. We'll see. We'll be watching. We already had floods in Kitchener this morning, yeah, so if a lot of that hasn't cleared out yet, then that's a problem. Terry says, just let my son know they should be watching the sky in Welland, or at least tying himself down if the wind hits. Tying himself down. I mean, it's good to have some flexibility. You don't want to just tie yourself literally down. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there could be could get pretty darn windy in Welland. We'll see. We'll see. Joseph says, so glad you're back and so glad winter's done. I do snow removal landscaping and I watch you on a day-to-day, so I'm glad we're back to rain, not snow. And for now, I mean, it's the battle of the season, so I haven't looked to see if there's any snow in the future, but I think it's generally rain, but we'll see. We'll see. It's this is one of those battle months, so you never know. I mean, those who are in Sudbury's had 2 feet, or in Elliott Lake had 2 feet of snow. Sudbury had like a foot, I think. So yeah. So they're not too happy about it, but that's what happens when you live to the north. You get it a little bit later. Get the spring a little bit later, and the winter a little bit earlier. Michelle says, my husband and son will be coming back from a hockey tournament in Oakville within the next couple of hours. Do you know what the area might look like? I'm super anxious when it comes to stuff like this. I think Oakville is going to be okay. I mean, again, there could be a little bit of isolated flooding up that way, and there might be some thunderstorms. Are they driving from Oakville to somewhere, or are they driving just within Oakville? But anyway, I think generally the Oakville area is, I mean, you might see some flooding, might see some strong winds, and maybe a bit of lightning, but yeah, I'm not estimating anything too significant for that area. The winds are slightly intensifying over Lake Erie, south of Crystal Beach. It might move into the Fort Erie area. Yeah, it looks like, I think probably Fort Erie is where things are going to get interesting here. Or it'll just miss. It's possible it'll just miss. This is the cell we're worried about. This little guy seems like it's not a problem. Moving that way. Let me just double check on a few things. Yeah, the winds are picking up south of Crystal Beach. That's actually not the most recent update. I think we have an update even more recent than that. Oh, there's 13. So yeah, so the winds are moving south of Crystal Beach and heading. They might hit Fort Erie or might just miss to the south and hit Buffalo. So we'll have to see. We'll see. Yeah, the strongest winds are definitely south of Crystal Beach right now, and tracking to the northeast. So we'll see. Matt says definitely localized flooding north of London, starting to form. Water at a local dam is about up 8 inches right now. Yeah, and there's a boatload more snow. I did it. There's a boatload more water on the way, so that's problematic. That's not great. Hey, everybody joining on TikTok. How's it going? Thanks for joining us there. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on Twitch, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Thanks for joining us everywhere. Appreciate it. Okay. Will the St. Thomas storm come to Norwich? It's a good question. Let's take a peek at that storm because it really didn't look too crazy on radar, but it sure connected with the surface there. Will it come to Norfolk? Where's Norfolk again? You're down here somewhere. Simcoe-ish. I guess I can just search it. I have those skills. All of our Norfolker friends. Let's see here. Norfolk. Ah. Why did it just zoom me into Simcoe? Is Simcoe just Norfolk? Is that what it is? Why? Is that the same thing? Will that storm come that way? It looks like it. Not for sure. It might miss it to the north. This is trying to move northeast, but it's possible it'll head towards Simcoe. It's possible. We'll see. I just missed a comment. I can't find it now, but someone said, "Is that it for Sarnia?" And I think so. I think that's it. Oh, Norwich. Oh, how did I not read that properly? Into Norwich. Oh, I see Norwich right there. Yeah, it looks like Norwich is most likely going to see that storm. I don't know if they're going to be as strong as the St. Thomas winds, but it's possible. Why? Alyssa coming in with an $11 super sticker. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Even though I can't read, I'm reading Norwich as Norfolk. My brain's just filling in the gaps. Kathy goes, I'm in Norfolk and would like to know as well. So you're in Simcoe then. Is that right? The search thing here proper that says it's trying to say that Norfolk is Simcoe. It says Norfolk General Hospital in Simcoe. I think so. Not Lake Simcoe. Not Simcoe County. Simcoe the town. But anyways, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Thank you to all those sending stars on Facebook. Thank you to those who have subscribed to remove ads and extend feature radar on our app. Some folks were having issues with the pop-up ad that happened on the radar. There's two options with that. One is you can subscribe to remove ads, and then that will solve those issues. But the other option is if you go to the menu and you choose radar in the menu, that should stop whatever that bug is. There's a weird bug for some Android users where they get the full screen pop-up ad, they wait, they hit skip, and then it brings them back to the home page. So we're working on fixing that as well. So and our apologies for having to do the pop-up ads. To make sure, we want to make sure that there's more revenue than there is cost to the app. So if that unbalances, which it did, if it gets to the point where the costs are more than the revenue of the app, then the app has to go bye-bye. So if you want the instant weather app to succeed and continue working, the best way to do that is to subscribe, to remove ads, and to extend the feature radar. That's by far the best way. But alternatively, we had to add the full pop-up ad when you use the radar on the app. So our apologies for that. We had to do it. It's just we'd rather have a little pop-up ad that shows up every couple of days than have to delete the app from the App Store and have it not work anymore. So I hope that makes sense. Brenda says, subscribe, totally worth it. Thank you so much, Brenda. I appreciate that. Thank you kindly. If you do have the app, you just go to the menu at the top left, you click Upgrade Radar, and then you can choose from one of the three options. The $6.99 a year is like 58 cents a month, and that's by far the best value, I would say. But the $14.99 a year gives you 15-minute intervals, so the feature radar is a lot smoother. The animation overall is a lot smoother. Anyways, so thank you so much. Ange says there's also SMS service, which are great in rural areas during these storms like this. Yeah, even great in populated areas, but where everybody's using a cell phone tower at the same time, and then everybody's internet goes down the drain, and the only thing that can actually make it through is a basic SMS text message. So, we have textmessagealerts.com. You can subscribe there for $4.49 a month now. And and basically we'll send you a text message for any alerts for your for actually two locations. You can put in two locations. So you can put like home and work. And then and long story short, thank you to those who subscribe to that service. We've had that around since 2015. Thank you to those who subscribe to the app. Thank you to those who have subscribed on Facebook, those who are sending in stars, those who are sending in gifts on TikTok, and those who are sending in super chats on YouTube. We really, really appreciate it. And as well, we put up a donation link, actually, and we had quite a big response from that recently, a one-time donation link. And we really sincerely appreciate all those who have have chimed in for that. It makes a big difference as well too. So I think it's, I don't even know if it's on here anymore. Where did that link go? I should probably put it up. I'm going to create a banner right here. So I believe it is, I believe it's instant weather, inc.com / actually instantweather.ca / donations should work. I believe so. I think so. I think it's this. Yeah. instantweather.ca / donations. So if you'd like to do a one-time donation, we really appreciate your support. It makes a big, big difference. We want to stay above water. And that's not a flooding pun, but, you know, we want to keep doing this. We've been doing this for 10 years and we want to keep going. Actually, we're coming up on our 10th year anniversary on the 18th. So that's exciting. Doing this for 10 years now. So thank you so much, everybody, for all of your support. We sincerely appreciate it. And, yeah. And it's been a pretty interesting day. Carly says subscribe. Thank you so much, Carly. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Thank you so much. Congrats, says Smith. Thank you very much. Wow, says Alyssa. Thank you so much. Congrats, says Brenda. Thank you. Thank you. Kurt says got some big branches down in St. Thomas. Thank you, Kurt. Yeah, we're hearing some pretty intense winds in that area. It looks like maybe a little microburst or something. So, Leslie says it got crazy. Yeah, it sounds like it did. That was pretty intense. So we got lots of those reports. Then we sent out a notification to all those in the path that are further downstream. Again, we hope everybody's staying safe from that. It looks pretty intense. But we're watching carefully for the Niagara regions with these storms that are coming up from the south. Heading towards Fort Erie. The strongest winds might just miss to the east, but then there's all these in behind. And these are insane too. So you can see all these 95, 99, 97 kilometers an hour. All of this, all these bright blue, especially in here too. This is, what is this? 111 kilometers an hour. All of this really strong winds, and this is all going to be pushing into the Niagara region. So that is a problem for sure. Jessica says, nothing here but rain and a little wind. Jessica, where are you located? Because when you just say here, we don't know where here is. So it would really help if you said where. Thank you. Amazing Person 349 says, looks like the worst of the winds will stay south of Fort Erie, but it still looks like it could get clipped by some strong winds. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely some strong winds in behind that. That look pretty intense. So, Cambridge. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that. Is Windsor good now? Yeah, I think Windsor's fine. Windsor's good. I think you're all right. So there's this, and then there may be some marginal severe weather in eastern Ontario a little bit later today. Nothing yet, but maybe around the Cornwall areas and up towards the Quebec border. There is a little bit of a risk later on today for those particular areas, so we'll have to be watching for that. So that should be interesting. But yeah, some pretty strong winds and lightning heading into the Fort Erie areas and Niagara regions as well too, and still a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada for those regions, and still a severe thunderstorm watch along Lake Erie as well. So there's that. Still trying to finish this glass of milk I've been working on for a while. It's fantastic. Alexander, there's no risk for Midland. You're fine. I mean, there's some rain up there, I think. Not even. It's pretty clear up there right now. You're good. Midland's good. Carly says, we are in Selkirk. Are we good now? We got hit bad last weekend with a windstorm. And Pat says, no bananas. No, I do have one. It's fantastic. I'm going to eat that eventually. Eventually. Anything expected for Burlington? I don't think so. Maybe some strong winds and maybe some rain. But that's about it. Could see some lightning, but it's questionable. Kevin says, stay safe all. They're now getting heavy rain, yeah, in the London area. The rivers can't hold them back. A lot of flooding in and around them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Already some flooding and lots more rain. So, yeah, I think there could be definitely some more flooding in parts of southwestern Ontario. As you can see, lots of rain. Lots and lots of rain here. Someone's asking about the colors. So on the left side here, this is reflectivity. So this is just precipitation. So when you go to red, it's like torrential rain. When you go to blue, it's light rain. Green is moderate. Yellow is heavy. Orange is heavier, and then the red is the strongest. When we get to purple, that's when you're getting into big hail. On the right, this is all wind. So red is heading. Let me think here. Is red heading? Red is heading away from the radar, and green is heading back towards the radar. So that's why when you have like red and green beside each other, you know it's rotation, because half of those winds are going away from the radar and the other half are coming back towards. So you can see that kind of spin. Yeah. And then when we get up to the bright pinks, that's when we're getting into really, really strong winds. Yeah. So let's head over to... Yeah, still looks like some pretty strong winds are heading their way towards Fort Erie. Lots of rain and lightning as well too. So you can really tell it's low top rain, and this is how I can tell. You click the Buffalo radar, it looks like there's barely any rain over here near London, and then you click the Exeter radar, and it's like so clearly pretty low topped. The radar is shooting right over the top of it. So yeah, that's interesting. Matt said some kind things. He said, any idea of what time the storm system will hit Toronto? That's a good question. In those particular cases, I will look at our app. Do you have our app, Matt, by the way? Let me know. I'm going to go to instant weather, and I'm going to type in Toronto. I'll just type in Toronto. That'll be like City Hall. So if you live at City Hall, then this will be accurate for you. It says precipitation is possible around 2:45, but it says mainly rain. Strong wind gusts are possible. Over 65 kilometers an hour is possible. And it looks like high today is 14. Wow, that's decent. You might see some lightning as well too. It's not for sure, but you might see some. All right, I think I'm going to shut down the stream, get a bite to eat, get prepared for some of the possible severe weather potential in Eastern Ontario. It's questionable if it's going to be that intense. It might just be a little bit of a marginal risk. But yeah, I think I'm going to shut her down and go get some food, eat this banana and this cheese and nut snack thing. And then Leslie says, anything else coming from St. Thomas? I don't think so. Maybe some rain. But that's probably it. I think just some more rain. So Terrence says, appreciate you. Thanks so much, Terrence. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for your kind words and for watching the live stream. We went live for 2 hours and 50 minutes today. It was an interesting one. It sure was intense at the beginning, but I'm glad I haven't heard any injury reports and everybody stayed safe. Obviously, we had some pretty intense storm damage, and yeah, we sent that to the Northern Tornadoes Project. They'll go investigate it. It looks like it was possibly a little microburst or downburst. We'll see what they say. But there was some rotation that was pretty intense, especially what came into Amherstburg. It looked really strong for a sec, and then it ended up weakening. So, but that was pretty wild. So, anyways, long story short, hope everybody stayed safe. Thanks again for all your kind words and watching live stream. Lori says, "Are you singing today?" Singing today. What should I sing? Give me something quick. I'll do it a cappella. I'll give you one a cappella song before I go. You stuck around to the end, so I should give you one a cappella song. Lori gets to pick it because she said, "Are you singing today?" So unless I don't know it, I know a lot of songs a cappella. I don't know a lot of songs on guitar. I mean, I do know quite a few, but it's an original. Well, that's tricky. Blackbird says Sue, of course. How many times have I played that in the live stream? 9,999 times. But no, we have to wait. You have to wait for Lori. Oh, she says Blackbird, of course. Of course. All right, well, then I'm going to play the guitar then. Fine. Oh, fine. I'll give you some Blackbird before I go. 1 second. You know how to make me sing, because make me sing the song that I know well. So, I mean, of course, I was a professional musician for many, many, many years, so I had the luxury of learning so many different songs. Fort Erie looks really strong winds right now, or even just south of Fort Erie. So, but yeah, I definitely played a lot of songs for a lot of time. I'm just gonna tune this up real quick because it's probably really out of tune because I've been super busy lately and haven't had a chance to pick it up. But let me just tune up my guitar real quick, and then I'll play you Black. All right. Give you one song before I go. Might as well put the radar and animate. Let's see here. All right. Laurie says, I'm still waiting to buy the Storm Songs by Adam CD. I'll work on that. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take those broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Oh, take those sunken eyes, learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Oh no, the noise cancellation is still on. I thought I turned it off. Didn't I turn it off? Ah. I'll start again. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take those broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Oh, take those sunken eyes, learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Singing in the dead of night. Oh, take those broken wings, learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Oh, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Thanks so much for the suggestion, Lori. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone else, for your requests. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. My apologies for the AI noise cancellation, although it does work wonders when the cat is scratching at the door and the dog is barking and all the noise is happening. So it's definitely good for that. But I have to remember to turn it off if I play a song. So anyways, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Amazing Person 3409. As always, Brenda and Sue, Classy, appreciate it. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much. Flooding still a risk, still a wind risk in Niagara, and yeah, and it's going to be pretty darn windy in a lot of different places. So, long story short, everybody stay safe. We'll talk to you very soon, and we'll be watching closely for anything to pop up in Eastern Ontario, maybe from like the Kingston, Belleville areas-ish over to Cornwall-ish areas. So you'll be watching for anything that pops up over there as well, too. And if you do have any reports, please let us know. The best place, if you're on Facebook, is called Ontario Storm Reports. And yeah, definitely jump on there and post it, because the best thing about that is that everybody can see the reports immediately. There's now about 170,000 members on there, and they can all see your report immediately. So that's a really great place to share your reports, because we can see them. Environment Canada checks there as well too, and yeah, and everybody in the community and ourselves can also see them. So it's a good place to share. But if you're not on the Book of Faces, you can share it with us on Twitter, Instant Weather Ontario on Twitter, or you can send us an email, help@instantweather.ca. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you very soon. Oh, Debbie said it's her birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, oh Debbie. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Happy birthday, Debbie. We'll talk to you soon, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful day. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.